Hello, and welcome to the 10-Minute Tea. I am your host, Double D, Season 2 premiere. What else? No guest, just me. If you're just tuning in and this is your first show watching the 10-Minute Tea, honey, you have missed out. But this season, I promise you to bring you more tea, more drama, and more realness. A lot of things are going to happen this season, things that you probably wouldn't expect from me. But bitch, you better get ready. It's going to be a crazy ride. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen because that would just be not the tea. Anyways, first things first, I want to start with this past weekend and all the tea that rolled into me. You know, it's been 2 months since season finale in Lake Havasu, but I don't want to go too far back, so I'm just going to go back to this past weekend. People, what do you do when domestic violence hits, literally, your relationship? A friend of a friend of a friend, I believe, something like that. They were at the club this weekend, and the two guys were together, and the boyfriend beat him up. Now, how far is too far? Like, when you're in a relationship, you're going to have, battles and things of that nature, and sometimes it can get physical. To me, it just strengthens a relationship. However, if your man or a woman, or however it is in your life, gets physical with you, I can take being popped, but baby, you're not gonna stomp on me. And that's what happened. This man stomped his boyfriend. Now, I'm not gonna say what I believe is gonna happen because that's just me. But I want to know from y'all, what do you do when your boyfriend and you get in an altercation and you guys have a little scuffle, but then it goes a little too far? Again, I'm not going to say any names because it's the season premiere. I don't be too messy on the first show. Maybe Wednesday's show I'll get a little nasty. Anyways, also this past weekend, Miss Brianna Harris, shout out. Kudos to you and Phoenix Masquerade. You guys did a wonderful job at the wine tasting, the wine mixer, I'm sorry, this past weekend. Also, Humble. You guys, people, it's different. It's a very relaxed environment. You drink wine, you listen to poetry, and you just have a good time. Speaking of, I want to talk about dating, just to touch on it a little bit. I try to go out the box and try to date people that I usually wouldn't date, that usually aren't my, type of person or the right style that I would date, or, just a different personality for me, the total opposite in things. And now I see why I don't, because it just doesn't work. I went on a date this past weekend, and the environment was good, everything was good, but there was just no conversation between me and this person. How do you tell someone, okay, this date is pretty much over, honey, because I'm ready to go. Thanks for the meal, thanks for the drinks, thanks for the company. Not, because there was no company. I felt like I was by myself talking to everybody else except the person I went on the date with. So the date was kind of dry. But I stuck in there, y'all. Praise God. I stuck in there and finished the date. People, sometimes just because the date's not going your way and you want to get up and walk away, sometimes you just have to deal with it, whether it be, no conversation, or the person doesn't look like the pictures that were online, be it Facebook or others venues. But just stick it out, and sometimes you might have to initiate more conversation yourself. Who knows? Shout out just the weekend, y'all. Last night, matter of fact, I don't know what it was probably the alcohol. But last night, I just felt upon myself to become the millionaire matchmaker at the club. And I wanted to go out and hook up all the people that were around me, that we were there with and having fun with last night. Hook them up with just random people at the club. Y'all, I encourage everyone, if you're out with friends, just to make it a little funner, just hook a friend up with somebody random. And it's funner if the person's really not that person's type and they're really, really ugly. I'm not saying no names, but I'm just saying that, it made it a little funner. So shout out to Mark, shout out to Elijah, shout out to Sharif, shout out to JR, David, shout out to all of you guys. We had so much fun last night. One of the best times ever. Just for the record, I'm one up on all of y'all. I won that round last night. Next time it's on y'all. I'm just saying, hoodie. Okay. Anyways, shout out to Mr. Christopher Blackstone. I hope you had a wonderful time while you were here in Phoenix. We really got it in. I've never been drunk like that for a whole weekend in a long, long time, and I appreciate it. It was wonderful. It was magnificent. It was everything I wanted it to be. So the next subject that I want to talk about is having a secret. There's many things about me that you may all not know, and I'm not going to tell you on this show. But there are a lot of things this season that I will reveal about myself. A lot of things that I've been through, past, and some things that are to come in the future. Like I said, a lot of things are going to happen this season. A lot of changes are going to happen this season, and I hope you guys are on the ride with me for all these changes. Big changes for myself, actually. So, y'all stick with me and hang it out. But anyways, secrets. How do you come out and tell a secret to someone, and when you get the reaction that you weren't expecting, how are you supposed to react? You feel what I'm saying? And my thing is this: it just depends on what the secret is. Because, if it's a straight man and he's dating this girl for years and years and years, and then she says, "Honey, I'm a man," there's gonna be a reaction, and you may not like the reaction, but there's gonna be a reaction or a consequence. Shall I say a consequence, honey, a concussion quince, because you might get knocked the fuck out. But I believe in keeping small secrets. To yourself. You have to always have something to yourself, especially when you're meeting someone. I went on a date about a week and a half ago, and this guy just kept asking all these questions. Now, I understand when you're on a date, there's questions that are going to be asked, and you want to get to know somebody and things of that nature. And he was wondering why I was not asking too many questions. And my thing is this, baby, that I'm not going to ask too many questions, because you can tell me anything. And then in the end, a month, two down the line, after I finally decide that I'm feeling you and shit hits the fan, that all them questions that I asked before on the first date, you lied. So I really believe in just letting someone show you who they are. Small questions, favorite color, what's your favorite food, what's your sign, what's, you a top, you a bottom, random shit like that, and even that can change. But I'm just saying, that you have to let a person show you who they really are over time, and vice versa. You're going to show a person who you really are over time, because you really don't know a person off the first date. And plus, so many questions, man. I don't feel like asking all these goddamn questions. Anyways, y'all, this show is based on your guys' questions, your topics. So I want you to feel free to drop your topics, any questions you may have for me, anything you may want to know about me. Any of y'all want to take me out on a date, just inbox me, and I'll make sure that I'll get your questions, answers, and topics here on the show. Wednesday, I'll have my first guest. You'll never believe who it is, and I'm not going to tell you. So stay tuned. Wednesday, the 10th, I'm bringing to you a wonderful show. Again, as you guys always know, when you come to watch, bring your cups, drink up, because you are nothing And I promise you, nothing without the tea.